Hey cooks, now that May has come to a close, it's time to bid a cookbook club farewell to The Food Lab by Kenji, Lopez-Alt.
Bye. Bye-bye.
I have a lot to say about this book, and we're going to talk about this, and we're also going to talk about the Cookbook Club Pick for June 2025. So welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. So I always talk about bidding a farewell, and we're only bidding a farewell in terms of the Cookbook Club. This is what we went through this month. We cooked out of the Food Lab by Kenji Lopez-Alt. Kenji is a former America's Test Kitchen expert, right? Who then moved to Serious Eats, and I think he still writes for them. He has a restaurant, he has his own YouTube channel, and he's amazing. And I can tell you that I have learned so much from this book. Now, this book is not open it up to simple recipes with no explanation other than the ingredients and the method, right? This tells you the why, the how you change it, what kind of results you're going to get. It's kind of a scientific approach. There's a lot of scientific background justification about why he does things that he does. He tests things one way versus the other, and he tells you what happens when you did it one way and what happens if you did it another way. Tons of techniques. This book is fabulous. So it's not for someone who wants to open it up and just get a recipe with the recipes and the ingredients without any explanation about why things are done this way and that way. So if you want simple recipes that does that, I'm not 100% sure that this book is for you. Yes, you can open this up. Yes, you can get a nice recipe, but there's also going to be a lot of stuff along with that. And if you are a type of person that doesn't want to dive in that deep, you might not want to have to flip through all the pages, right? You will get a nice recipe like this that you can go through, and it has the ingredients and the method and a picture. And it's great. If you want to know a little more, it goes through explanations, right? And I know there might be people out there that just say, I just want to get to the recipe, right? And if you're one of those persons that doesn't want to thumb through the other stuff, there's a lot of books out there that are great, right? This book is for someone who wants to dive deep, that wants to be able to cook a dish and watch what's going on and taste the results, and then use the skills and the techniques that you learned along the way from this book to make changes, to make improvements, and you will know why you should make one kind of change versus another kind of change, because you will know what those changes will result. Why you do something. If you're someone who really wants to take your cooking and progress with it and be able to manipulate recipes and make changes and know what those changes are going to do, this is a fantastic book. This gets a 100% Amy Learns to Cook buy, right? So we cooked 4 recipes out of this book. We started with the crispy potatoes, crispy roasted potatoes. They were fantastic. As a matter of fact, I made them again like a day or two later, right? The process has been out there for a long time because we used to do it in the 70s. You'd boil your potatoes first, and then you'd roast them in the oven. That boiling gets the cooking started. And what he does is he kind of roughs them up a little bit and gets that starch sort of flaky around there. And so when you put the oil in and you put them in the oven, that starchiness, those flaky starchiness, those things brown up and really make the potatoes crispy. They are amazing. amazing, Kenji. So I would say this book, that recipe alone is worth this book to me. So then we moved on and we made his spaghetti with meat sauce. And I was a little skeptical because we had to use the food processor and mince up the meat with the mushrooms. And the way it looked coming out of the food processor, I was like, ugh, that looks kind of yucky, right? But it really did improve the texture of the meat. Don't you think, Eric?
It was different.
I thought it improved the texture of the meat. It didn't taste so grainy and like that. It was a lot better to me.
He was very scientific about what it does.
Yeah, and I think it works. So I thought that was a great recipe. Then we moved on to the chicken fried steak, which I kind of screwed up because I didn't separate the spices and the spice. It was
still great.
Yeah, but it would be a good recipe, except for I
don't know, do it again and do it the right way.
Yeah. Eric's like, cook that every week, right? Mm-hmm. And then we moved on and we did the cheddar and scallion biscuits. I think they were good because I don't think they survived.
I got like 3 left.
For the next morning, right? So, very cheddary. I don't know if manipulating the dough that much, like the fold, I don't know if that made it a little tougher than it is normally. Do they seem tougher?
You add butter. It was wonderful.
No, you didn't notice that. That's what I was worried about it, but it doesn't seem like they came out that way. So 4 recipes from the Food Lab. After that, I say this is a buy. So I chose a book that was completely opposite from the Food Lab. It doesn't go in and explain the how and why. It gives you the recipe, the picture, and the method, right? And we're going back to really basic, really classic, but modern, right, at the same time. Can you guess what that could be? Really classic, basic, yet modern.
Been around for years.
The Betty Crocker Cookbook! So we are going to a book that has been around throughout my entire childhood. I did a video about all the editions of the Betty Crocker Cookbook that I have. I'll put a link up here and down there. It has gone through tons of revisions, tons of new editions. This is the 13th edition, right? It technically came out in 2022. So this book has went through a completely revised with new recipes and all that. And the Betty Crocker Cookbook is the Cookbook Club Pick for June 2025. Yay! Woohoo! Betty's already run away from me, right? Here we are, Betty. We're front and center. We are putting you to the test. We are going to do a recipe a week for the next 4 weeks from this cookbook. We're going to see what Betty Crocker has to offer. Join me for the Cookbook Club. Next month, it's Betty. So Betty is about as basic as it gets, but it covers everything cooking and baking, right? They do have a section in here with equipment. So we have appetizers, beverage, breakfast, salads, soups and chilies, pasta, pizza, grains and rice, vegetables, beans and legumes, beef, pork and lamb, chicken, turkey, fish, shellfish, veggie forward, grilling and smoking, do-it-yourself, sauces, breads, cookies, bars, and candies, cakes and cupcakes, pies and tarts, desserts, fruits, and the index. This book is, look at, before the index, the recipes end on page 661. So I think we can find something in this book for this month, right? Maybe we'll cook out of something out of each major section. Baking, a salad, chicken, and something else, right? Betty! So join me, cooks, on this adventure. Hit the subscribe button below, and let's start cooking.